Hi, today we're going to go over the Thermedx fluid management system. First, you want to set up your canisters. There are 4 canisters and you're going to do a 4 canister setup. Your first canister is going to get the under the butt drape, your sock if you're doing a MyoSure, or no sock, and close the lid if you're doing a Wolf Princess resectoscope. We'll put it back for this demonstration. And then you're going to tandem it to the second, to the third, and then your 4th canister, which is your last canister, will have suction to the Neptune. Your Neptune will be set to 300. Also, if you have a device called a puddle guppy, which sucks up the rest of, or extra fluid from the floor, you can set it up to the last canister accessory port. All right, so from here, we are going to set up our fluid management. I'll put this back. So our package of fluid tubing will be that LL004. Your inflow, outflow, and cartridge set come in one package. This is what your inflow set will look like. And as it says, stay sterile. This is what that looks like. This will stay sterile. This end will be handed off to the circulator. Your outflow set, again, stays sterile. So your outflow tubing is a Y tubing, meaning it looks like a Y. So these 2 short ends, this one will stay sterile with the Laura lock. This one will go to your under the butt drape. And your tail that's really long will be plugged into your first canister. And then lastly, you have your cartridge set. As I put, give it to your circulator first so they can prime your machine. So we'll take that out. Your cartridge set, this is how it will be set up. So a common thing they say is thumb up. So in your instructions, it'll say insert cartridge into slot. Push until seated. So we'll open it up. Here's your cartridge slot. And it helps if you label your machine as well. Cartridge slot, push it in till seated. Step-by-step instructions, press next. Open pump. Here's your pump, open it. Put your tubing into the pump. Push it in there good. Close pump. Simple. Next, insert tubing into the bubble detector. So right here is your bubble detector. Push hard because it can get a little stuck. So push real hard. Sometimes people will use the end. Push it in there good. Close door. Next, clamp your clamps shut. These can be a little tough to clamp, so you kind of have to use 2 hands. And it also says to spike your bags. We use 2-liter saline bags. At our hospital, 2 liters is our deficit max. Spike your bag. Make sure it doesn't get twisted. All right? Next, it tells you how to set up your canisters. You can do 1 to 4. We prefer 4. It evens out the suction. So that's just visualization of what you need. Place 4 canisters and connect as shown. Patient connects to first canister, vacuum to last canister. Note, connect canister vac port to vac source only. That is very important because, for instance, our Bemis canisters, the vacuum port has a bilge protector. Next, we're going to press gynecology, hysteroscopy, confirm, next button. So what you do here is you are going to keep your inflow closed and open the clamp attached to your fluid bag. Now we can prime the cartridge. So this will take a few minutes. This would be a good time if you have anything that you need to do before you get your patient in the room. This is the time to do it. It takes about a minute, so not too long. And you can just let it go. Make sure your clamps are nice and closed. Otherwise it can leak because this tubing is thick, so it won't kink very easily. But if it is not clamped down, it'll leak, and that'll mess with your deficit. All right, so it is almost done. Just gonna wait a second until it says it's all done. This reduces the pulsing of the image in your camera when it's in the uterus. Okay, so from now, your cartridge is primed. It is telling you to remove this part from your inflow part, and you can connect your inflow tubing. So when you're ready to go, your surgical tech will hand off this part to you. Remember, this part is on your hysteroscope. They will hand off this part. You will take off this gray cap and attach it to your tubing. Now we found that if you wrap this over the top of the machine, it works. It gets the air out easier. So next, this is your screen. This is your home screen. It shows you how much fluid is left in your bag. You can turn on a temperature. You can set your intrauterine pressure. You can set a deficit limit. Again, like I said, our hospital goes to 2,000. It'll give you a warning at 1,500 if you want to go past. So I usually keep it at 1,500. And it will show you how much fluid is infused. And I will show you what it looks like when fluid is running. So when you are ready to flush the fluid through your scope, we're just gonna put our fluid into our canister to mimic a prime. You're gonna have your doctor turn on their inflow, and your circulator will press run. Make sure your clamps are unclamped closest to you. So your doctor or your surgical tech will let this run until they're done seeing the bubbles in the inflow tubing. Once they're done seeing bubbles, they can turn off their inflow and just go. So as you can see, this little recycling sign over here, that shows that your fluid is running. This is the fluid infused, and it shows your deficit. So if I clamp it just with my hand, it'll stop running. It thinks fluid is still running, but there it goes. So it shows you it isn't. So what it's calculating now is the fluid you're not getting back. So there's about 100 in the tubing right now. And when you're done with the procedure, you can press stop. Oh, one thing I forgot, make sure you turn your Neptune on. Because once you have your outflow and everything connected, that will suck up your fluid from the drape. Once your patient is ready and the under the butt drape is on, you will connect your tubing. And so press stop when you're done with the procedure, and when you're completely done, press end, and it'll take you to a page where you can get your deficit and print out a page for your doctor. When you're all done, press new procedure or power off. We'll power off and confirm. You want to do this before you completely power off, because like a computer, you need to shut down the software before you turn off the main machine. And that is how you set up and take down Thermedx. Thanks.